Am I the a-hole for telling my husband he works for himself, not for our family? My husband and I have known each other for 6 years and been married for almost 3 years now. We have a 1-year-old and we're expecting another baby. Our marriage has been full of emotional highs. We love each other and let each other know regularly. My husband has a 9-to-5 job after which he is also a tutor. He had started this back when we were in college, and it was never an issue. He always had enough time. Even in the years leading up to the marriage and the first year of our marriage, this was never a big issue. However, in the last year or so, it's become a big issue, and it's getting worse. He keeps on adding more classes to his schedule. Until last month, we had a red line that no classes on Sunday. He would devote that entire time to us. But last month, he even added a class on Sunday on the excuse that exams are starting. It started to feel like me and my son weren't a priority to him anymore. Some days he comes home at 11. On other days he's doing it online, but that's not much better because he still can't give us any time. Last Sunday, I finally spoke out and told him he was neglecting his family. He was offended and told me that he doesn't enjoy having to work so hard, but he's doing it for our family. This is where I told him that no, I think he does enjoy it. It gives him an excuse to not spend time with us, and that he was doing this for himself, not for us. As things currently stand, our collective income is more than enough. There really was no need for him to add more classes on top of his existing ones. He's doing it for himself at this point. He's literally busy Monday through Saturday, and now he's trying to cross the red line we established for Sunday. We've been on bad terms since this fight. He keeps saying he can't believe that I said he works for himself, not for us. AITA here? Verdict: not the a-hole. Relevant comments. Comment 1. My ex was like this. After many years, I realized he was avoidant. He also liked playing the victim and sacrificing so much for the family. He got lots of praise for it. We didn't need the extra money either. All he sacrificed was a marriage and a decent relationship with his children. I hope you can help him see that. Maybe counseling together? I don't know. It sucks though. Comment 2. I don't understand the white E on this. The man is hardly ever home. They don't need the extra money. He is missing out on time with his child. His wife is feeling sad. Why is he doing it if not for himself? He's clearly not doing it for them. Comment 3, downvoted. It's going to be hard, and you're going to have to grit your teeth through it, but if he is working all the time to support his family, love the man and cherish the little time you get with him. He's grinding to support y'all. Would you rather you spend all the time in the world together and living in squalor or on the streets? Please support him while he supports his family. Hell, have you told him you're proud of him working so hard? OP replies, I have a 9-to-5 job too, and like I said, our collective income covers our expenses and then some. If that weren't the case, of course, I wouldn't be angry. I would understand. But given the situation, the fact that he took away the one day we get together just because it's exam season really got to me. I also want to make clear I absolutely appreciate how he provides for us to give us a great standard of living. And I've told him this many times. But now it feels like he's adding more work to disengage. Comment 4. Info. Did he grow up lower income? His father may have worked himself to the bone to keep them above water. So, it may be all he knows. OP replies, no, both his parents are doctors. That was certainly not the case. Comment 5. Info. I see where you're coming from, but I gotta ask. You sound like you feel secure about your financial situation. But does he? You're expecting another kid. You have a 1-year-old with another on the way. I don't know where you're based, but certain regions are more expensive than others for families to live in. Based on just that information alone, there could be plenty of thought put behind whether or not you guys have the financial stability for the future. You clearly think so, but does your husband? Have you ever had that conversation with him, fruitfully, honestly, about the objective truth of your financial stability and his and your thoughts on it? OP replies, yes, we had that discussion before. We talked about how since we're already comfortable, there shouldn't be any need to have a class on Sunday. In fact, at the time, I also thought he should cut down on his existing classes, but relented on the Sunday agreement. I didn't think the numbers were important, but a lot of comments, not you, seem to doubt my judgment that we're stable. I'm an accountant who makes $70,000 per year. My husband is a software engineer who makes around over $100,000. And based on how many students he teaches and how many classes he has, he makes over $100,000 from that. Our household income covers our expenses. I'm an accountant. This is kind of my bread and butter. Update 1. Thank you for the feedback in the last post. The comments said that me asking him to adhere to the boundaries we established was reasonable. Some comments also suggested that I should not have implied that he works just to get away, so I was a little apologetic as well. After he came back, I decided to talk to him about this. The conversation was a bit of a train wreck. I brought up the fact that our income far exceeds your current and projected expenses, that me and our son were missing him and needed him to spend more time with us, and I made sure to stress that I appreciated all that he did. It just seemed like we were on completely different wavelengths. He said he kept on taking more lessons and students because he wanted us to have a good standard of living, have better vacations, better schools, and a second house. I was dumbfounded. I never knew he felt that way. I stressed our current standard of living was great, we make enough money, and that if he thinks that way, there's no end in sight. What if he decided we should also have a third house or something? Right now I need him with me. At this point, I kind of lost control and started crying. I didn't mean to, it wasn't something I wanted to do to pressure him or anything, just the fact that we were at an impasse was wrecking me. I told him I'd been feeling unhappy, that I kept compromising, and he reneged on it. After some more crying and consoling, my husband agreed that Sunday should have remained off limits. He gently asked me to give him a pass for one more Sunday because his students' exams end next week, and he would make Sunday untouchable the following semester onwards. He also promised to try to resize his classes in order to be able to come back home for dinner, even if it's late dinner. He asked for time to do all this. I've given it to him, and I know he loves us enough to do what he promised. Thanks for the feedback to the original post. Relevant comments. Comment 1. You need to tell him that he needs to get right with his family and you right now. Or he might be living in that third house alone. Play him Cats in the Cradle as background music. OP replies, I would like the changes to happen immediately, but I want those changes to be permanent. If he does something at a snap right now, but has to go back, that would suck. So, I'm just giving him the time to make those sustainable changes. I'm getting our Sunday back after the next one, which is progress. At least we're back to the red line. He said he'd already booked a lot of classes for the next semester, so he just asked for time to discuss and rearrange them since he can't just say no to his students after agreeing. He was earnest. I believe I made it known to him the toll it's been taking on me, and he will make the necessary changes. Comment 2. Did he explain why he had these feelings of needing more? Is it because the new baby is coming and this is like some weird financial nesting? Or did this start well before you were pregnant? I understand him needing a little time to readjust to the old schedule, but I don't see what caused it in the first place. OP replies, that's kind of where we weren't getting through to each other. He kept saying that he wants our family to have a good lifestyle, while I kept saying that we're already in a place where we aren't lacking anything except him in the house. He finally understood that that's what our son and I need from him right now. I know I had told him last week that I think he does this just to be away from us, which I feel crappy about, but it's just that his tutoring hit critical mass close to when our son was born. I know the number of students in classes had been increasing steadily over the years, and maybe we should have set boundaries from the start, but it's gotten too much now. Comment 3. Up. You did a good job and took an important first step. I think it would be unrealistic for him to do a complete 180 after this conversation, and this is a necessary stepping stone. I'm usually very negative about relationships, but it disheartened me to see all the top comments being so negative when you took the time to update us and you didn't need to. I hope things continue to improve for you. OP replies, thank you. I had thought I did good, and then found out a lot of people here disagreed, so I started doubting how I did. I appreciate what everyone is saying, but he's a loving husband, friend, and father. It's just this one issue that's just gotten out of hand. I can't think of packing my bags. I believe he was neglecting us, but during the conversation realized he didn't know the extent to which it was affecting us. The class issue has been getting bigger and bigger over time, so I realize fixing it will require some time. I'm just going to make sure I see him do it. Comment 4. Have you guys considered hiring a maid/nanny to help with household duties? If you're making enough money, it could be worth the investment to reduce your burden. OP replies, yeah, that came up in the conversation and I'm looking into it. My job is work from home 2 days of the week, so that helps, and my mom lives close by, which is super helpful too. Most days I manage the household and child rearing without any issues. Like, it's not like I plan to give him a list of errands to run on the days he's in the house, but him just being physically present is something I'm missing now, and he's promised to remedy it as well as he can. Comment 5. The biggest problem I see is that his self-worth is being validated by his students and classes more than by his own family. He likes how teaching makes him feel, and he doesn't get the same validation from being just a husband and father. So, he will continue to prefer working as much as he can. And it's a double whammy because he justifies the extra work is for his family, so he feels doubly validated for doing good things. OP replies, "Your comment stayed with me for some reason, and I kept coming back to it. I asked him yesterday if he enjoyed teaching physics and math for hours on end, that he works so long. How does he not start hating it? I didn't bring up the topic of reduced hours or Sunday because we already have an agreement on that for now. He said he does like it. After some more inconspicuous needling, he told me he enjoys the fact that so many people trust that he can make them understand stuff and better their grades/future. I didn't go further into it, but your comment really helped give me some insight. Thank you so much." Final update. Around a year ago, I had been having issues with my husband regarding his tutoring schedule and had come here to know if I was in the wrong. A few people have asked me to let them know if things improve or continue to deteriorate. We're in a better place now. We've been blessed with a daughter now too. He has become better at handling his workload and tutors primarily online now. I know I had said at the time that that's not much better, but it really is. Sundays have become sacrosanct again, with very rare exceptions that he asks my approval for in advance, and Wednesdays are free now too. He does more group tutoring now, and so gets done by 8:30 most days too. He also got a new day job which is entirely work from home, which has made things much better because he isn't so burnt out anymore. In the weeks following up to my daughter's arrival, he'd been by my side, especially since she arrived during the summer when school is out. I also took some advice from here and hired help to ease the burden, which has worked out really well. I've also learned to embrace the fact that his tutoring gives him joy, which maybe his software development job doesn't. He seems to be proud when his students get into good universities and that it results in even more students. He still claims to do it for purely financial reasons, but I know that can't be completely true because our financial needs really do not require it. So, it must be something he enjoys. So, I've become more understanding on that front too. I have had to put my foot down a few times though, especially in the initial days following our conversation, to make sure he understands that I was serious about needing his presence more. I had also confided in his older sister about this issue, which he was not happy about at the time and was probably an accidental move on my end, but it helped. They had an argument. She straight up told him he was either going to end up working his way into an early grave at the age of 30 or ending up divorced, which helped. Full disclosure, the only time we ever really argue is still about this, when I want him to be free, but he won't be. But it's rare, and overall we've come up with a good balance that seems to be working for us. Thank you. Relevant comments. Comment 1. I think my questions are, is he missing things? What do you need support with? What's the actual crux of the issue? I read your posts and it speaks to a lot of how you feel, and apologies if I missed it in the comments, but is he actually not pulling his weight at home? Is he missing important events? I agree it's important to spend time together as a family unit, but usually when working on improving relationships, feedback needs to be specific and actionable. We don't get to have our evening tea where we used to decompress, except on Wednesdays and Sundays. I know that doesn't sound like much, but I really enjoy that, and I guess it's unfortunate he's not missing that. Sometimes he'll miss dinner, but he really tries to avoid it, I know. As far as important events go, all of our friends and family now know that Saturdays don't work for us, so they avoid it if possible. But the other day a family friend had a gender reveal party on Saturday and my husband couldn't accompany me. Little things like that still happen. If I'm being very honest, when my son was born, I had a picture in my mind of what our house would look like after 5 p.m. It involved my husband always being there and us all having quality family time. The fact that that didn't happen is what my real issue is. I know life gets in the way, but I'm concerned about how we're developing our bonds as a family sometimes. As far as chores go, we've hired some help, and my mom being close really helps too, so that's not too big of an issue. Comment 2. This is so sad. Imagine having to go through all of this to force your spouse to spend time with you and your kid. It's sad that your idea of better is still him barely being around except for one full day a week. At the end of the day, if the choice was up to him, he would rather spend time tutoring than with you and his own child. That's because he's not doing it for money, like he said. He is doing it so he doesn't have to be around you guys. It's so sad that you've accepted it. Comment 3. It sounds as if the situation is still sort of a work in progress, but is getting more positive for both of you and resentment isn't growing on either side. That's good, and congratulations on your daughter.